in 2017, government promised to get street children out of the dangers of the street life. The Ministry of Gender and Social Protection set up the operation Get Off the Streets, but for a better life. More than 4 years on, the situation seemed to have gotten out of hand, with minors even from neighboring West African countries flooding the highways of Ghana to beg. In the following report, our reporter Justice Bedu digs into Accra's street begging problem.
This is one of Accra's dirty little secrets. It's the dead of the night on a cold street in the capital. This is home to hundreds of people who sleep rough in downtown Accra.
It's almost like a mini refugee camp here. The children who live here and their parents have come from West African countries like Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Most of them sleep rough on hard pavements like this. And if you walk right up the street, there are hundreds more who sleep like this till morning, all in this Accra neighborhood of Aboseokai. The people who live here who have been speaking to me say on a daily basis, hundreds of them arrive in buses to Accra.
Matsalar babu ce ta kamu da mu da yaran mu muke tayi. Muna tahiya kadan inda muka kwana uku hudu biyar goma wani guri sati biyu.
Poverty is what forced us out of our country. We began begging when we left home. We spent 3 months on our journey with our kids. Our government does not help us. We are only here because of poverty. When we get what we want, we'll go back.
In yanzu Allah ba mu abin da muke nema amma kai jibi mun dade a kasar wannan. Ai ta hakuri da mu.
Habibu Ademu is 10. Like many of the children here, his parents brought him from Niger. Their journey, he says, took them 3 months, making several stops until they got to Accra, where they have been begging for alms for a year now.
They beat us every day on the streets. They abuse us. They ask us to go and work because we are able. One day, a car ran over my hand and it got broken. This job is tough. We need help. Some came for food, but others are also looking for more. For me, I wished I could go back to school, but we can't afford it. This is the reason we came to beg. We have been here for 2 weeks now.
As dawn breaks, the children and their parents flood the streets of Accra, hand in arms. This is the Achimota overhead on the busy N1 highway. They run after every car in sight.
Muna bara muna neman kuɗi, ana zagin mu, ana dukan mu, ana cin mu je mu yi sana'a. Muna da ƙarfi amma sana'an bai zo mana da sauki, yana zo mana cikin wahala ne. Kun gane, ku taimaka. Ni kan wani ma ya karya amma an gyara hannu. Ƙanwata ta karya amma an gyara hannu. Mun kashe kuɗi da yawa. To shikenan ya abin da zan faɗi da ka cire min abin da ka zan baki.
More than 61,000 persons below the age of 18 are living on the streets of Accra alone, according to a 2021 study by the Center for Social Policy Studies at the University of Ghana. The Beggars and Destitutes Act of 1969 makes begging criminal. And yet, like many other laws in Ghana, there's rarely any enforcement.
The ministry has initiated a program that hashtag Operation Get Off the Street Now for a better life. Everybody deserves a better life. The objective is to reduce the phenomenon of persons living on the street with such dreams that they cannot be held back. Data collection to create a database is ongoing with 4,098 children already registered. Shelters have also been identified for us to begin this very month to move our children and persons and families off the streets into homes whilst we organize the reintegration for those who can go back home those who can go back to school, and those who will be embarking on various training and capacity building activities in terms of income generating activities.
This is then Gender Minister Otiko Afisa Jaba speaking in 2017.
I can actually liken it to a situation of a time bomb that's about to take off.
Elikem Awuye is a child protection activist with the Rights Campaign Group International Needs. She has spent years studying the subject and rescuing some victims of the streets.
Streetism is also like a very lucrative economic venture in Ghana, where you see children begging, selling, and doing all kinds of things on the streets. So that economic aspect that deals with the poverty they are going through does not make them want to leave the streets. So they'll rather stay there and survive than to leave the street.
The Ministry of Gender, which made a promise to end this menace 4 years ago, did not speak to me for the story, saying they were on strike.
It's also part of the reason we have high numbers of adolescent pregnancies, drug abuse, HIV, kidnappings, and all that, which are very, very serious issues. I remember a girl once told me how through the traffic, men give out their numbers. They write their numbers on small pieces of papers. And, they're sitting in luxurious cars and all, so they look rich. So these girls will call, hoping that they'll get something in return. And sometimes the men come sleep with them, infect them, impregnate them, and they are gone. And so they can't even find the fathers of their children.
Back on the streets and right at this traffic light elsewhere around Kokomlimle, another suburb of Accra, the kids are hard at work. With them, minors as young as 2. Road users seem to have had enough too.
Sometimes you feel like giving them something, but the more you give, the more it's like you're encouraging them to do it. I don't like seeing the mothers and the parents sitting there whilst we see these children crossing through the traffic and everything. I don't know. No, with these motor riders, the motorbikes passing in between the traffic, I don't think it's safe for them to.
With very little in social protection for vulnerable people like these children, more of their likes continue to flood our streets, and it seems there is no end in sight. Justice Baidu, Joy News, Accra.